Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at budget ForestCraft. This will be the final of the budget decks before we get back to some more regular rotation unlimited content, hopefully. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that. This should be a reasonably quick video as this is a very aggro oriented deck, finishing the game extremely quickly, no later than really turn 6. Anytime you really go past that, it becomes very hard to win the game unless you are lined up to win on turn 7 already. So just really solid deck. Of course, it's very 50-50. I found that when I go into a match, it's all about that opener. If you can open strong, you can win the game. If you don't, you pretty much lost guaranteed. Really no middle ground for coming back, at least, as far as what I've played with this deck, and hopefully you guys will be able to see that. So let's get right into it and check it out. So this budget deck is really purely orientated on that aggressive stance, just throwing as many fairies, as many followers to board, buffing them with things like Elf Song, hitting face consistently, and trying not to lose that momentum. As soon as you do, it's pretty much game over at that point, and that can become very difficult. Starting off though, we have a pretty wonderful hand, Fairy Whispers and Water Fairy, along with our Elf Song, all set up nicely. Leaf Man to kind of top out our turn 5 plays, maybe even a little earlier if we want him. They're really just going to settle nicely for this. And then Myconid, I'm not really sure how we should pronounce that, but we'll call him Mushroom. Either way, Mushroom is going to be a great turn 3 play, honestly perfect ambush. Sets up for the nice turn 4 into Elf Song, which is always good, and getting Goblin there is perfect. So this hand was almost what I'd consider an optimal hand for this Elf Song line of play and for this budget deck. If you're looking to smash out forest missions or just absolutely kind of wreck quickly, so if you want to play a lot of games in a short amount of time, this is the deck for you. This deck will do that very easily. You'll either lose or win, one or the other, in a very quick amount of time. And as you can see, we got a very nice board, very consistently. We're going to be able to pretty easily go face. Lady Grey isn't a problem at all. The healing kind of sucks, honestly. The healing is probably the most difficult part about Lady Grey there. But it's not something we can't handle at the moment because we do have Leaf Man, which is going to be our follow-up, which will give a slight buff and allow us to remove Lady of Grey while keeping our Leaf Man alive. So it's going to open up a lot of potential damage. So going face for 6, putting our opponent to 9, we should pretty much line up for victory there. Not a lot our opponent could do to clear these easily. They might have cleared 1, maybe 2, but that probably would have been it. And following on from that matchup, we are up against Dragon. Dragon, I found, is a little more 50-50 than, say, Shadow, which you can usually dominate with a good hand. Dragon more comes down to, are they going to slam ward early? If the answer is yes, you could be in some trouble if you don't already have an immediate answer. So that's not much fun. Fairy Circle, great card, love using that. Early game, turn 1, Fairy Circle, set up for Elf Song already on turn 4. Then it's just a matter of kind of finding some cards to put in the middle. Which in this situation, I don't have too many options, but Water Fairy is a pretty good one, so we may as well play another Fairy out to go with it because Water Fairy will generate one if it's cleared anyway. Servant of Disdain, zero issue with that card as well. And we decided to go for the Leaf Man Fairy play this time, mainly because I want to stack the board for damage. Since we didn't really draw anything else to use, I felt like that was going to be my best option to get as much damage in as early as possible. Also, it means our opponent has to answer what we have, which is always good. Now, I probably could have considered going for Natural Tutor, but decided against that, and just decided to play the Elf Song buff anyway. Getting more damage was a little more important at this point. Especially since Dragon typically can't clear out boards like this super quickly. Usually it takes at least another turn or so before they can really dominate the boards. So, Natural Tutor, that's going to give us a really nice Ivy Spellbomb. Even though I don't get the extra out of it, I still got the clear on it. And I get to do a fair bit of damage to our opponent. Again, 6 on 5 is always a perfect amount of damage to do. Serpent Drake. Initially I would have considered this a problem, but honestly it's not too bad. As now they really can't win this. It's pretty much already game over, making this an extremely quick video for you guys. So again, if you're not a big forest player like myself and you're looking for a deck that could be really good for doing missions, or you just want to smash out some really quick games, this is actually really good. Whether you're going to win or lose, that's completely down to nearly luck at this point. Otherwise, it's just a little bit of fun. It's reasonably cheap. I mean, we've only got, I believe, 3 golds here in it, which is the peerless shot. Everything else is quite budget orientated, so it's easily accessible for new players, which is what these budget videos are usually designed for. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe. You'll find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, see ya.